Just a couple tips on your electrical wiring when you're doing your wiring for your Ezyloader. You're going to get a bunch of stuff. You're going to get your small spades, both male and female of these things. You're going to get some heat shrink tubing, this stuff. And because I did the extra wiring, which I talked about earlier, I went out and bought some more battery terminals. And you will get some with your Ezyloader. Probably in the parts video you can see that. But they'll have different size holes in it for depending on where you're connecting it. So the smaller hole is for connecting it to the power panel. Like from your positive, you're going to use a larger one to connect for your ground and that type of thing. So depending on what you need, you'll figure that out. You'll decide which hole you need. But to crimp these, I mean, these little guys are pretty simple. Let me put this down and just give you a show here. These little guys are simple. If you have one of these pairs of pliers, if you don't do electrical, if you've never done electrical, great idea. Go get some, go ask somebody who has done auto electric, that type of thing. You got the red, the blue, and yellow. So whether you've got red or blue or yellow, you're putting them in generally in the center there. Let's see that, where the metal is. And then you're crimping it. You put your wire in there, your bare wire, and then you just give it a pinch. And it crimps it over like that, closes up the hole completely. And that way, it's gonna probably be really difficult to see, but pinches up the hole so that it keeps the wire tight inside there. For these larger ones, what I found the easiest, and I was looking for some battery cable so I could show it, to actually do this, but I'll just basically demonstrate what I do. Oh, actually I have it probably on the video, I can just show this to you. This shrink tape that you put on, there's black for your negative, for your ground wires, red for your positive, so you can keep track of them because the wire they send is basically all orange. And that, I'll show you again in the video, I use a torch, just a little butane torch like that. My favorite is actually using a heat gun. You could put a little video of that up too, just using a heat gun to shrink it. But the reality is these things will, I mean, it'll shrink with pretty much any heat. I mean, your regular Zippo, you're gonna melt this stuff down and attach it on there. It gets quite soft, also gets hot. So, but that's basically all shrink tubing is. So this should be, like, again, you've done auto electric, you've done that kind of thing. None of this is new. So that's the only thing. The only thing that a lot of people probably don't do is, like typically you're doing auto electric, is that battery cable crimp. So those terminal crimping. So that's my trick for doing it, is just using a vise to squish them down flat, and then using that blunt punch to just put a couple chips in there. That way you can make sure that you got a solid crimp on your wires. Yeah, so that'll do.